Well, Rick Santorum is hoping to build on his stunning gains in Iowa as he sets his sights on the primaries. The former Pennsylvania senator is no stranger to Washington, but his views are perhaps not as well known on the national scene. Here's a closer look at his record and what the presidential hopeful sees for the future.
Losing by just 8 votes to Mitt Romney has certainly invigorated Rick Santorum. But we can already tell you quite a bit about his vision for this country. Santorum, after 2 terms as a congressman and 2 terms as a U.S. senator, has established a reputation as a conservative in every sense of the word. Just this past Sunday in Iowa, Santorum was talking about entitlement programs.
I don't want to make people's lives better by giving them somebody else's money. I want to give them the opportunity to go out and earn the money.
Santorum's comment came in a state where by far most of the public aid recipients are white, although he says he was tongue-tied and didn't mean to say the word black. But he did mention the word black in another situation. It was from January of last year, regarding comments President Obama made as a candidate on abortion, saying it was above his, quote, pay grade to say when a baby is entitled to human rights.
The question is, and this is what Barack Obama didn't want to answer, is that human life a person under the Constitution? And Barack Obama says no. Well, if that person, human life, is not a person, then I find it almost remarkable for a black man to say, no, we're going to decide who are people and who are not people.
Santorum received significant attention when he gave a quote to the Associated Press in 2003 about the Supreme Court and homosexuality. If the Supreme Court says that you have the right to consensual sex within your home, then you have the right to bigamy, you have the right to polygamy, you have the right to incest, you have the right to adultery, you have the right to anything. Does that undermine the fabric of our society? I would argue, yes, it does. And he continued, in every society, the definition of marriage had not ever, to my knowledge, included homosexuality. That's not to pick on homosexuality. It's not, you know, man on child, man on dog, or whatever the case may be. Santorum has said he wasn't equating homosexuality with all those other activities, but was trying to make a larger point about morality.
I think basically Christian teaching on the subject, that one can have desires to do things which we believe are wrong, but it's when you act out those things that is a problem. And I was simply reflecting that opinion and that belief structure that I happen to hold as a Catholic.
Santorum is a staunch supporter of Vatican policy when it comes to contraception. He said this to an evangelical blog site. One of the things I will talk about that no president has talked about before is I think the dangers of contraception in this country. It's not okay. It's a license to do things in a sexual realm that is counter to how things are supposed to be. It's a belief that may play well with many in the far right, but might be a harder sell among other conservatives. And regarding national defense, he is certainly the antithesis of a candidate like Ron Paul. If elected as president, Santorum says he would tell the Iranians to dismantle their nuclear facilities and make them available to inspectors. And if not,
we will degrade those facilities through airstrikes and make it very public that we are doing that.
Many critics thought Rick Santorum's political career was over after he lost his U.S. Senate re-election in Pennsylvania by 18 percentage points. But his star is once again rising. He hopes his Iowa showing helps him broaden his reach in New Hampshire and beyond.